first National Historic Landmark residence to be LEED certified in the country. This house was built 1811 for Judge Story, and in the same year, to his amazement, he was nominated as the youngest justice ever to serve on the United States Supreme Court at age 32. He did the entire law of admiralty, the law of the sea. He wrote the slave ship opinion, and which recognized people as human beings for the first time. The house has just been placed on the National Park Service Underground Railroad to Freedom. And so it's had a long and very interesting history. And by the time we came along in 2006, ready sort of for the next chapter. The first thing we did was to take a careful look at it, and it needed a lot of help. We were looking for the right contractor. We finally ended up with the Deulis brothers out of Lynn. And one day Frank Deulis said, what kind of a heating system are you going to put in? I said, well, gas heating system and HVAC and just the usual thing. He said, have you ever thought of geothermal? My response was, what's that? I had never heard of it. And he said, well, it's the heat of the earth. And the next thing I knew, I was hooked. And we put the geothermal system in, and it has been absolutely terrific. We have 7 wells, and as you can see, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the intake. Goes through the machinery in the house. That's the outgo, also 7. Back to each well, home run style, to be reheated by the earth and comes back in. And it's just so simple. It's complicated to design and install, but it's really very simple based on heat exchange, really. These are the Climate Master machinery we've used. This takes care of the kitchen, the loft, the study, and the hallway. There's a gas in here just like a refrigerator. There's a heat exchanger. The water comes in, the warmth heats this, heats the gas, which is the refrigerant. If you compress that gas, you get immediate heat up to 80 degrees. If you cool it, you get immediate cooling. You run the compressor one way, it heats. You run it the other way, it cools. No noise outside. And it's really like a kind of a reverse refrigerator. The air conditioning is just perfect. It takes out the humidity. It is economic. For every $1, you get $4 worth of energy because you're starting with 55-degree fluid, which is warm or cool, so to speak. You don't have to cool 90-degree air or heat 0-degree air with fossil fuels. So we burn no fossil fuel, except when we need a little backup assistance. But for the most part, we're very proud of the fact we burn no fossil fuel in this house. We like to be good neighbors. We met everybody, we talked with everybody what we were doing, and everybody was elated, and we got along great with the Historic Commission. There'll never be any outdoor compressors, because as you know, you run the compressor one way inside, you get heat. You run it the reverse way, you get cooling, and there's nothing. With these brick walls, that would have been a fairly noisy bunch of compressors. So, as you can hear, it's very quiet. Martha started thinking about LEED, and we were told that it would be practically impossible to have an 1811 very large home be LEED certified. We were able to get silver certification. The only difference of opinion we had was over the fireplace doors. We didn't want to put fireplace doors on, and we kept saying, but there's new dampers on the new chimneys that seals in the energy. We won't lose any energy. And they said that that's not the reason for the doors. The reason is the degrading of the air from the smell of the carbon in the fireplace. That's what we want to prevent. We went through the entire process, and it was very gratifying to receive the certification.